All right, up next we have Libra rising and sun. This Capricorn full moon on the 21st is taking place in your fourth house. And this might be a more emotional one for you. That's not typical for what we hear about Capricorn. We don't think of emotions necessarily. We think about work. We think about work, what we're producing. And that's definitely something I'm getting here from these cards as well. But the fourth house is a more emotional house. It's related to our roots, to our family, to who we are behind closed doors. And a full moon can already kind of draw out more emotions. But the real reason why I'm saying that is because this full moon is making a square to Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces, which definitely watch that overview if you haven't, to explain more about what that means. But for you, this square to Neptune can definitely enhance and make you have kind of big emotions. It can also kind of distort things as well. But in this case, I feel like for you, it might actually be unearthing things more than distorting things for you. Unearthing emotions, having you kind of look behind things that you've maybe suppressed. And this is a very Libra trait where we can often just kind of wear a smile and like, oh, everything is fine. And yeah, it's like we can really overlook things for peace as Libras. They're you're ruled by Venus, which is next to the sun at this time, in your 10th house. So again, a lot around career is super, super important. I think you're going to have a lot of clarity around your career, and a lot of kind of these emotions come up around your life direction, or around relationship with maybe certain authority figures, or people that you work with, or just things within your goals and your career. You could have these like emotions surface that you've been suppressing. I see that with this teeth card. This is all about the pressure that builds when we clench our teeth, when we hold emotions in, when we suppress the anxiousness or the anger, the frustration or whatever. And it's time to release that tension now at this full moon. And it's interesting because I definitely think there's some major ending happening here for you guys, but it's not just an ending, it's a rebirth, because I literally pulled death and magic and rebirth. So I feel like you guys are coming through a phase where something is dying off, where you used to hold your tongue, or you used to see things in a certain way, or you used to go about things in a certain way, or you used to have a relationship with your boss or with your career or life goals or something in some way. And now you are like facing a deeper truth, and you are realizing that you have to change the way that you do things. You're realizing that you have to, feel your feelings. And from that makes you switch up your behavior or your path or your perspective to be reborn as someone new, to be reborn as somebody who maybe speaks their mind or has more clarity around where they're going, around what their boundary is, or around what they value. Maybe there's shifts in priorities and values here, shift in focus, shift in energy, shift in what you want to work on. But there's something here where you guys are truly having to let something die off. And part of that is allowing yourself to first feel that something is uncomfortable, that something has been suppressed or not been dealt with. And then when you realize that, you can then understand what needs to change in order to be, to die off and be reborn in some way. Something else that's interesting about your cards is that I kept pulling like one card upright, just any type of card, and then the second card is always a pentacle card in reverse, and I have that 3 different times. It's so odd. So it feels like there's something happening where you guys may be kind of split as well, which is quite Libra, where you might feel like indecisive or uncertain about something. You might feel like in some ways you want this, and in other ways you have like contrasting parts that are against it. So it feels like there's like a push and pull or a tug between two sides of the psyche. And one of them is happening, like the pentacles in being consistently in reverse, to me is indicating that something really has to give in the material realm, likely associated with career, finances, career relationships, goals, and your actions towards those goals. But it feels very much concerned with the material world. Something around that is like not working. Not, yeah, something around that is just has to change for you. With this square to Neptune in your 6th house of work, it's quite literally like something has to give. This is a turning point full moon. If you haven't watched the overview, again, please watch that so you understand what I'm talking about. But this is a turning point in this summer solstice where we are needing to decide how we want to move forward with something. And the way that you were going about your career, it's just not going to work like that. Something has to change there in some kind of way for you. You also have Mercury in your 10th house squaring the nodes in your 1st, 7th house axis. So this change and decision in your career is absolutely affecting somebody else. So there's something here that's going to be a relational decision, which is hard. It's quite hard for my Libras. I know that you guys are influenced by how other people feel. I think that you guys care about making everyone feel comfortable, but I think that that's coming at your own expense to some degree in this instance. And it's time for you to kind of put your foot down and make a different decision than you normally would, because the South Node is about doing things the same way. The North Node is about doing things differently. And it's really important right now that you guys choose to do things differently than before when it comes to making career or big life decisions. So this doesn't just have to be career. This could be deciding to move somewhere, deciding to have a kid, deciding to do something with somebody, or anything like that. So I'm not going to get into all the examples because I don't even know, you guys know, but it's really important to make sure that you are basically asking yourself what really feels right in your heart, because you're the one who's having to give up your life force energy for whatever this is. You're the one who's giving all of you to ensure that this happens, showing up day after day. And if this is for someone else, or if this is somehow not in alignment because of something going on with someone else, then you're the one sacrificing. And so just kind of keeping that in mind, I think, is super important for you guys. Okay. Let's get into the cards a little bit here, because I feel like there's just more that I want to say. So first of all, we have the 3 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 3 cards. Again, this feels very relational. Like 3 is a crowd. So this might have to deal with 3 people. So the decisions that you're making might impact you and 2 other people, for example. Another thing that this represents is kind of this contrast between really wanting to go ahead maybe and do something on your own with this card, with the 3 of Wands. It's just such an adventurous card of breaking new ground, going to new heights, new places. But then, and that might be on your own a little bit here, especially with the South Node in your sign, North Node in Aries. It is quite an independent energy. So there may be a calling for you to do something more on your own. It doesn't have to be on your own totally, but with this 3 of Pentacles in reverse, it kind of makes me feel like that's part of this journey of needing to break away and needing to kind of go off, because the 3 of Pentacles is about disharmony within the workplace. The team effort is just like, it's not getting you the results that you're looking for. You are maybe not fully being recognized for your part in it. Maybe you feel like you're drowning in other people's goals, other people's wishes. There's a sense of maybe conflict with the people that you're working with. So there's something here where it's like you guys are in this juxtaposition of having to choose between continuing this path that isn't really working with someone, or trying something new, trying something adventurous. And I feel like this is the turning point and that push and pull that you're having. The next thing we have is Justice and 7 of Pentacles in reverse. 7 of Pentacles is all about long-term investment. When it's in reverse, it's saying that we're starting to question if that investment's paying off. Does it make sense for me to do this 5-10 years from now? Does it make sense for me to continue to pour into someone else's dream, to continue to pour into this company that doesn't appreciate me, to continue to pour into this goal that I feel like isn't really going to get me where I want to go with these people? And so there's something here around questioning the longevity of something, questioning even maybe how much time you've put already into something. And so I feel like you're having some hesitation around that. But then we have the Justice, which is a card that's like, but I want to be fair. I want to do what's right for everybody. I don't want to just like leave them when I've invested all of this. I want things to be, judicious. And you are a Libra. This is your card, right? It's like, I want what's balanced for everybody in this party. And so you again might be split here between wanting to kind of, give up when you feel like this investment long term doesn't make sense, but also maybe not wanting to leave people hanging when you've been there for so long and they expect you and all that. And the Death card was next to this. So I see something here ending in regards to this. And maybe it's even that you feel like it hasn't been fair, and it's like you doing something or making some necessary ending to the way that you're approaching something, or to a dynamic, or to your goals, or to a career venture, and you ending it or changing it in some way that is going to allow you to have more fairness for you, and to support you as well in a way that maybe you haven't before. The next set of cards we have is the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So Ten of Swords is also about some kind of ending. So definitely something is ending here with the Death and the Ten of Swords card. With the Nine of Pentacles, this is a card of really being invested into something. Like, I'm going to give all of myself into this. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make sure that I do the absolute best, that I'm irreplaceable. And there's something ending here where you're like, you know what? I don't think I want to go about this in that same way. Maybe I want to have more work-life balance with that Justice card. Maybe I want to put my energy into something else that I feel like is going to have a bigger return on investment, so that my energy isn't going in, like I'm not hustling for something that doesn't have longevity to it, or for people that don't appreciate me, or for things that aren't giving me the results that I'm looking for. I'm getting fired up right now. I'm getting angry, not angry, but I'm getting fired up. So there's something here where I feel like you've been tolerating it and tolerating it and tolerating it, and maybe not even realizing that you've been tolerating this, like these feelings of maybe frustration. Maybe you haven't realized like that you felt that this was unfair. Maybe some of you have or haven't or whatever, but regardless, it's been suppressed to some degree. You haven't acted on it. You haven't changed something about it. And now it's being released and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I have to feel these feelings. I have to put an end to overworking for this wrong thing. And I have to choose to be reborn in a way and choose a new type of career endeavor, a new type of investment, a new way of approaching this that feels a lot more fair and balanced for me. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Libra. It seems like a really important time. I kind of want to pull one more card. Yeah, let me pull a green card. I'm going to pull an advice card for you guys, just because it seems like a pretty big one for you, especially with your planetary ruler on the sun. You guys are shining right now in a way, and that could illuminate clarity around your life direction. It could bring you opportunities for this change to really revolutionize your life. And I want you to take advantage of this and not suppress this anymore. So what is your advice, Spirit, for Libra? We have agreement in reverse and then memory. Interesting. So I find it interesting that agreement is in reverse, because agreement is about contracts, working with other people, having things feel really fair and like having a good collaboration. But in reverse, to me, this is saying that there can be something here where you need to maybe redefine what the agreement is, what the contract is. Maybe you need to leave this business and go to another place where you get more money when you have a better contract there. So it could be breaking the agreement or redefining the agreement with whoever this is involving. The memory card, I feel like this is indicating stuff from the past. So there's something here about not forgetting how this has made you feel, not allowing people to gaslight you, which can kind of happen with this square to Neptune in the 6th. You could start to question yourself. And it's like, no, remember how this has impacted you. Remember the past, and don't also let the investment or the past be the sole decider of whether or not you stay or whether or not you continue on with something. It's like, yeah, I think that that's also a really strong message here. it's like honoring the past, but that doesn't mean that you're chaining yourself to it because of the fact that there's a history. That is one of them. And then the other is actually looking at what has happened and how this person or this entity or this work has affected you, and not negating that history, because that is very relevant. Holding on to that memory and allowing that to guide you in terms of the future is super important, so that you don't ignore how you felt in the past and then just end up recreating it in the future. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Libra. I hope that that's helpful. If so, please comment down below how it resonates with your life. If you want a reading from me, you can check me out at cosmicclarityastrology.com. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share with your friends, and have a beautiful day. Bye.